Hey, okay, so here I am. Um, I'm moving a little bit slow today. I had a migraine for the last couple days. So if I lose my place and start to wander off, I'll try to come back. But what I wanted to talk about today is to follow up on, I think last time I went live, I was talking about the Enneagram and why I don't think that that is any tool that you want to use to inform your style. And then what I think you should use instead, or another tool that you could use instead. So anyway, a little bit about my background where it's connected to the Enneagram. I am definitely not an expert. A few years ago, just like a little bit before it started to get really popular, I had heard of it and I invited a couple friends, hi friends, to read this monstrous Richard Rohr book on the Enneagram with me. And they were kind enough to indulge me, and we enjoyed a summer of meeting every week and talking about the Enneagram. And I like all of the typing systems. So it's not that I don't like the Enneagram, it is really useful. But based on my experience with that, and I've read quite a few books on it since then, my feeling is that it's really more of a tool for you to use yourself for personal growth. So I don't actually think it's who you are or who you were born to be. I think it's more of a strategy that you developed for survival when you were a little kid. And so it's almost like your anti-personality, or I don't know, personality is maybe not the right word, but like you should be working using the Enneagram to get beyond survival strategies. For example, when I went to this Enneagram workshop last week, and was one of the things that was just kind of casually mentioned in there is how one particular type, or I think maybe three, were referred to as being feelings repressed. And so I thought, okay, if three of them are feelings repressed, then three of them must be thinking repressed and three of them must be doing repressed. And so I must be doing repressed because I know that like doing is not my thing. But doing is important to be successful in life. So I looked up some strategies, or what would be a strategy for, an Enneagram type 4 to work on their doing. And it just suggested like to, whatever it was, had to do with like being around people who get you and using that to fuel wanting to do things. And that is spot on the strategy that works for me, and super helpful to be reminded that I can do that and I don't need to like try to do everything that everybody else does. So there are some, the Enneagram as it's presented popularly does tap into some positives. So for the Enneagram type 4, that's me, the positive would be being creative. Well, yes, it's important for me to show creativity in my style, but I also think that that should be a natural thing that comes out of other parts of discovering what my natural style is. So basically, I think that the Enneagram is a great tool and it's nobody else's business. The Clifton strengths, on the other hand, if you have your Clifton strengths, that could be something that you would want to show in how you dress. And so with that in mind, I I took my spreadsheet that has my Clifton strengths and the heroes in it, and I sorted the strengths column by alphabetical, and I came up with, for the first three on the list, something that you might want to do that you could use to show you that strength in your wardrobe. And if this is a cool idea and you know your strengths and you want me to do more, let me know. Okay, so the first one alphabetically is achiever. And achievers are people who like to be busy and productive. And I think that it would be important for those people to wear durable fabrics with stretch. So this is going to be stuff that you can actually get stuff done in. The second one is activator, and this is actually in my top 5. And so how I use activator, and this is how I'm going to just recommend, is I like to move fast if I see a style that comes out and it's something new, but I know it works for my body type. I'm going to adopt it right away. And the third one is adaptability, which happens to be, sadly, my number 34. So it's my very lowest. And so adaptability, these are people who like to go with the flow. And so a way that you can show this in your wardrobe is just to wear really relaxed styles. And so, yeah, so that's my dipping my toe into how you can work your Clifton strengths into your style. If you like this and would like more, I would love to have you leave a comment below this video. And yeah, if you want to look at how I help you create a very individualized style by analyzing the artistic principles in the pictures that you like, yeah, I'll leave the link to the form for collecting your pictures down below this as well. Thanks for watching.